Hello, hello. Hi, y'all. It's Jeannie from Bushnell Unscripted. And today I have a little project I want to work on. You've probably seen me and Jen from Hanging Out with Jen working on our Wicked puzzle. First of all, this box has been everything. I absolutely love it. Okay. But we've been putting this together. There are 2 lives that I will link. We almost completed them online with y'all. But Jen had a little bit of a calamity with her puzzle falling. So that set her back. And then I was set back because this whole side, which is dark green and black, was just, I needed to be closer to it than working how I work when I film. So we finished them offline, and it turned out beautiful. This is the little picture you get with it, the poster, which, by the way, is the same as the diamond painting we're working on. This is Everyone Deserves the Chance to Fly. So I will link to the playlist for the diamond painting as well if you'd like to join us or you'd like to catch up. So this is a wooden puzzle. And this one, they have 3 different versions of this. This is the large size, and it is 212 pieces, which is a 9.5 inch by 15.4 inch. And it has unique pieces, and it is by Craft Hub. You can get this on their website, and I'll provide a link to you. I'm not an affiliate for them. I'm just a consumer. But you can see that the pieces are irregular, and they have some really unique pieces. Just love this box. I wanted to show you, this is my second wooden puzzle now. So this was my first that I did last year, and I did this in honor of my husky who died, my sweet Hillary. This one was a heck of a challenge too, because this did not have really any edge pieces. There were a few here, but still even these had lumps and bumps on them. But like this tail area, everything was just a challenge in this. When I bought this one, I was like, oh, this will be nothing. It took much longer than I anticipated. And as you can see here, I've glued this one. Something on there. As you can see, this one's also got little special shapes. There's a spider, there's a cat, there's some shells, there's a snake. Package. Really, really fun. But again, not like a traditional puzzle at all. And you can really see it on the back here. And a lot of times these puzzle pieces do not, like, for instance, here. That does not have a traditional, I don't know what it's called in the puzzle world, but I call them snap-in pieces. This just sits here. You see that? It doesn't lock in. They're not locking pieces. So, and that happens quite a bit, and it happens a lot on Wicked. So I want to show you, I have sealed this one. Love it. I have it sitting on my fireplace. So I wanted to show how to work on this one. What I use to seal is Mod Podge, and I use matte. They have a glossy. You can do that. A tip with Mod Podge is a lot of times the lids, when you're working with your Mod Podge, you'll get some glue on there. Even if I am hyper vigilant and I keep it clean, which this edge is not, but even if I'm hyper vigilant and I do that, when I go to open this again, it's like a vice. Not a vice. It is like a lock. It's impossible. Don't panic. Don't throw your bottle away. All you have to do is take it to your sink, turn on your hot water, and just let that hot water roll around, turn this upside down, and let it, and then it should open. If you need to do anything, take like a little butter knife and try to pop around, okay? But still keep it under that hot water. It will really, really help. That is a tip that I use. I'm going to put a lid on that before I end up spilling it all over creation. Now, one thing about this Wicked puzzle is that the surface of it will easily ding. So you want to be careful. So you just want to take some time to make sure that you're getting it nice and tight. Now, since I didn't take the time to put my wax paper or parchment paper under here, there's a good chance I'm going to ruin my foam board, but I'm going to have to deal with that. I've got a little water in my silicone brush. I use a silicone brush for these because I don't like to ruin my paint brushes with the Mod Podge. Okay, I have a rag here. And that's really all we need. You just want to make sure you're consistently going back and checking the tightness of your pieces. Now, I am going to grab a little green diamond painting tray. Don't throw all those away. They're useful. I'm going to pour some Mod Podge in there because I don't like to... This may... I don't know yet. Some of this paint might lift, and I don't want to contaminate my Mod Podge. So, there we go. Already dropping. So, I'm working with my little silicone brush. You can pick these up online, or you can pick them up at once was a Dollar Tree. All right. Just going to go into the Mod Podge. You don't need a heck of a lot. I'm going to hold that edge, and I'm going to start right there. I just use a light touch, but I am making sure. Do you see how those lines are being highlighted, for a lack of a word? You can see them, right? That's what you want, because there's a little bit of glue going into those crevices. And I just keep going. Now, I don't want a big glob like this on my edge. So I'm going to clean that up, because wherever you have like a big line like that, you're going to have a big line of glue. Now, they do sell at the store, Puzzle Saver, something like that. See, I shifted that. Shift it right back. Puzzle Saver stuff, all kinds of stuff. I find that that's a little bit more expensive. I've used it before, but it's the same stuff. It's just a... Now let's see if we're transferring. So far, so good. I'm not getting any transfer of color from this, so I'm pleased about that. I want a little bit more on this edge. What's nice about a puzzle is you can really see where it's going and where it's not. Now, I know some of y'all don't glue your puzzles. I do. Once I've gotten something together, it's just like a diamond painting. I'm done. I have to keep it and seal it and protect it, love it and call it George. I can't imagine breaking a puzzle up that I've done to put back in the box. That's just, Now, don't get me wrong. Don't come for me. Some of y'all are like, well, I do them and then I donate them to senior citizens. That's wonderful. Do that. I think that's lovely that you do that. But for me, if I'm doing a puzzle, it's because I want to keep the image. It's just like a diamond painting. I do diamond paintings that I either am gifting or I want to keep. But same thing, if I were going to gift a puzzle, it would be done. Oh, I just can't. If I'm going to gift puzzles to like a senior citizen center, I'm just going to get them new ones. I'm not going to break up what I've done. I just cannot do that. But if you do and you enjoy doing that, do you, boo? I'm so happy for you. I think that's good. But Jeannie can't do that. So that's all we're doing. We're just going right over this. Now you want to be careful that you don't make big lines, because every ridge that you see there, that's kind of go back and try to feather those out. You see that? Because every little ridge you got there, that's going to stay there. Time immortal. So you just want to, you're going to be like, why do you keep going back over that? Because I'm trying to feather out any lines. I don't want a big ridge of glue on my puzzle. Now, if it happens, it happens. Don't beat yourself up. It's just a puzzle. And you learn better the next time. I use a fairly light touch. I do try to keep my edges clean. But just feather it out. You can, I mean, I like to go in one direction. I don't like hodgepodgeville like that. See? Just keep it all. But you can see it starts to dry pretty quickly. It's shifting. We're just going to shift it right back. But yeah, feather out those ridges. We don't want them. I really enjoyed working on this puzzle with Jen. She's so fun to do anything with. And she cracks me up because I get real quiet and hold my breath when I do puzzles. And she talks to herself and her puzzle. So y'all got to go and watch that. It's hilarious. So you'll hear me take big breaths because as I'm so into concentrating on it, I just lose myself. Now see? Now right here, that piece is not wanting a little bit of glue around it. So we're going to come in special for that flying monkey. Hold your puzzle together, y'all. Keep it tight. Clean your edge. Just feather out those lines. Go back where you see them. Feather it out. Okay? I feel like Bob Ross. I love Bob Ross. I grew up watching him with my dad. Three things my father and I used to watch together. Bob Ross, WWE wrestling, and I mean back when it was Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. And nature shows. Horrible nature shows where they showed predators taking down other animals. So like lions, you'd see lions taking down zebras. I used to say, how come they don't stop that, Dad? How come the camera people don't stop it? And he'd say, "That's nature, Jeannie. You have to let it happen." It's very disturbing to me. Because all this, you'd be just watching like these beautiful, majestic animals, just, everybody's having a great day. Then suddenly it turns into an altogether different show. I don't know if they still show that on TV. And it was all, that was Saturday and Sunday viewing. We would sit there and watch that together. All three of those. My dad was mesmerized by Bob Ross. He'd say, "Look at him," because Bob Ross uses every now and then he uses really large paintbrushes. My dad was in construction, and he would go, "Now I've got those size paintbrushes, but I know I can't do that." All right, a little bit more. This is why it's good to donate. So these trays that you don't want, this is why it's good to donate to schools too. And maybe they haven't even thought of it, but you can take them in and donate them and tell them, these make good little trays for when you have to paint. Because the paint will dry in there and you can just peel it right off and use them again. There we go. See? Just want to make sure you just keep taking a little time just to zhuzh it there. And that's it. We're going to let this dry. I'm going to put a second coat on it. And then I'm going to flip it and do it to this other side. That's it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You've done the hard part. Hard part was a puzzle. Have y'all been working on this puzzle? Do you have one like this? Have you done a wooden puzzle? If you haven't done a wooden puzzle, I recommend them. I think they're fun. They're different. They are challenging in different ways. Like I said, the puzzle pieces are very different, but it's fun. It doesn't have to be scary. Got to keep trying new stuff, y'all. Keeps your brain active. And see, when you squeeze it good, you might have some that squeezes up top. Just feather it out, okay? And you don't have to have a heavy coat because you're going to come back and do it again. I think building on lighter coats is always the best idea. And why do I prefer matte over, say, a gloss? Well, the matte doesn't tend to show all of your brush strokes. So that's why I really prefer a matte. A matte, the light hits those brush strokes and magnifies them. So even though I try to be careful, I'm not going to get all of them out. Let's go along that edge. It's already drying. Now, it doesn't take long. But make sure you go to the edge. can clean up that edge. Just make sure you get everybody. Everybody wants some sealant. Don't leave anybody out. Very impressed that none of the color is coming off. So that's really good. I've had that happen before, and that is much messier. Still doable, but I don't like it. It's messy. And you got to be very careful. And you don't get as many times back and forth because you'll start to mix colors. So this is nice. Just feather it out. I recommend you don't do this when you got a lot of activity going on, you got a lot of people in and out of the room, pets in and out of the room. Do it. Give yourself some time so you don't feel stressed. You're not worried about hair gluing all to it. Just relax. Sometimes we want to do things that aren't at the most ideal times. You know, we're like, I need to get that done. Well, if you got everybody and their brother coming over, it's not the best time. You'll get it done. Pick another time. But don't be afraid of it. You can do this. One thing I always try to show on my channel is you can do things. Even things you never thought you could. Even things you never dreamed of. I really want people to feel empowered all the time in their choices. Come back over here and make sure I get that. You know, if you buy something and it's got screws with it and maybe the instructions are a little more difficult, just relax. You can do it. I hear so often women will buy something and they're like, oh, they just give up on it. They just look at it and go, oh, that's got too many steps, or that it came with a screwdriver. I try to show y'all completions of things and me doing things so that you can see you can do it. Doesn't mean I'm doing it 100% the way you or somebody else would do it, but I'm showing you that you can do it. It's possible. Sometimes we're trying to tackle things in the wrong mindset. Again, when we're stressed, when we're like, well, I've got 5 minutes, but I'm also thinking about I got to go make dinner, so I better hurry. Nope. You got to do some stuff when it's just your time. So I hope in 2026, more of you will do that. You will take some time and remember that you are allowed time for you. Clean those edges. Now you've seen me go this way. What I'm doing is trying to get some glue in between those pieces, but I come back in the same direction. Finish in the same direction. Okay? All right. Feather, 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 feather. All right. I'm going to let this completely dry. I'm not coming back over here while that's sticky. We're leaving it alone. We're cleaning our silicone brush in the water. We are leaving this alone until it's all completely dry, and then I'll do a second coat. Okay? All right. I'm back for my second coat. Now, one thing I like to do, just to make sure it's not sticking to whatever surface I'm working on, carefully hold your puzzle and give it a little zhuzh. If you get some resistance, just try to wiggle it out, okay? So we can make sure it's not sticking to whatever you're gluing on top of. And as you can see, it has been hardly no time at all since I did the first coat. And in fact, there's a little bit right in that crack that's still wet. If I push on it, you see it? A little bit right there. But for the most part, I am able to run my fingers over it smoothly. Now, what I like to do too is just take my time and push down a little bit. Get those puzzle pieces, make sure they're locked in there. It's already feeling great. Okay. It's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start my second layer. Okay. And it's looking good. I am happy with this. There are no big ridges. You're doing great. We're just going to keep moving, y'all. Okay. Starting right back over here. So by the time I get to that end, that little bit that's over there will be completely done. Now you're going to find the second coat. Goes a little bit smoother than the first coat because you've already got down some Mod Podge. Now you can pick Mod Podge up anywhere. I just buy mine on Amazon. You can get a big old thing of it. I've never had to use that before, but if you're doing a lot of decoupaging, you're doing a lot of puzzle piecing, go for it. Probably will save quite a bit, but I will say this is 16 ounces. This lasts me a long time, and I use it quite a bit. It's just whatever your use is. But save money where you can, y'all. We've got more crafts and diamond painting and puzzles to buy. Yep. Same thing as we apply this. You want to make sure you're getting in those puzzle connection points, but do start to feather out any ridges you see. You'll get less of them on the second coat, but they're still wanting to pop up. And same goes, like my edge is clean. Okay. Again, if you need to turn this way to make sure you're getting in those puzzle connectors, that's fine. Just come back, feather out. You got it. Clean edge. Mm-hmm. I tend to move quicker on a second coat. because I've done this a lot and I'm confident that I'm doing all right. But you don't have to work at that speed, okay? Oops. Do what makes you comfortable. Now, you might start to see your puzzle bow a little bit as it starts to come together. If you want to put a heavy book on top of your puzzle, please make sure that you use like a parchment paper or something between the book and your Mod Podge if you are worried about that. Don't do it till that's just a piece of paint from that was up here. Don't do it if your Mod Podge is tacky, okay? But I really would put something between because you might take off part of your book or something. But it will start to bow a little bit. I don't tend to worry about it because when I flip it over and put the glue on there, it tends to take care of it. But if it bothers you, definitely use a protector. Like, I really like parchment paper. And then peel off slowly when you go to take it off. If you try to be quick peeling it off, you might take off part of your puzzle. So, fair warning. And I'll tell you, the second coat to me always dries quicker. So I always feel like I have less work time. And just constantly feathering out ridges. I don't like ridges. But if you miss some, don't stress. Most people aren't going to notice. And if they do, hopefully they've been raised right and keep their mouth shut. And if they don't, you might want to evaluate how much of a friend they are. Just don't put a light on it. It won't light up. It won't highlight, okay? There we go. I am so tickled with how this puzzle came out. It's so pretty. I know it's just like the diamond painting, but I love that too. I'm going to put them both up. I need a little bit more. I know right now that looks scary. You're like, oh my goodness, what's that going to do? You're going to be all right. Nothing but success. See? It's going to be gorgeous. And even if you have some gaps between your pieces, please don't stress. The Mod Podge will go in them and it will look fine. But I'm glad you're trying it. I'm glad you're You're wanting to glue your puzzle and keep it. Yeah, I think if I ever put a puzzle together and I don't glue it, y'all better check on me because I'm not well. Somebody else has taken over my body. Now, I'll tell you, sometimes you get clumps in your Mod Podge. And I just remove that. You don't want that. No clumps in your Mod Podge, because that will stay and that won't look as pretty. I try to do only put as much that I'm going to use. And it helps if you just work on a wet edge. And a wet edge means you are constantly working in line with the last little piece you did. So, for instance, if you decided, well, I'm going to start over here, I'm going to go over here, you wouldn't be working on a wet edge. You would be working on a dry edge as you got to the other piece. So just stay where you are, work in a line, and keep going. Now's not the time to experiment. Just keep going. Mm-hmm. All right. So now I'm just going to work on feathering out any ridges right here. Only in the wet areas. Whatever's here is gone. Once it's got a certain tack to it, you need to leave that alone, okay? You can only continue to work in the wet area. And you're like, well, that's not dry. But see how it's starting to dry? Leave it alone. Because otherwise you'll start to get texture you don't want. Let me put it that way. Okay? You'll get ridges and lines and all kinds of stuff that you're not interested in. But you can work the wet area. All right. So there's another 13 minutes. Second coat. We're going to let that dry, and I will be back. All right. It's been about an hour, and this top coat is nice and dry. Now, it's not stuck. We give it our wiggle. This is a Teflon sheet. This is a Teflon craft sheet that you can pick up at the craft store or online. I love these. You just wipe them down. They're great. These are great for puzzles if it's the right size. So I'm going to just slide this under here so it doesn't stick to anything. Now you still want to be careful. Let me move all my... Slide that forward. So I'm able to pick it up. You saw me. I'm able to pick that up with two coats on the top, okay? You don't want to tally with it too long. Support it, flip, and now you can see it looks great. So why am I using a Teflon sheet? Again, you can use parchment paper or anything. I really like these. My personal choice. I know that won't stick. You need something because your Mod Podge, if you work with it at all, you know that it has like a stick to it, especially when it has not had time to cure for a long period of time. It's going to still have some of that tack to it, okay? So in order to do the other side, I need to be able to have it on something that I know I'll be able to remove it from. So this has been setting out for an hour. Let's see if it's, yeah. So it's setting out for an hour. Do you see how that's not so flowy anymore? So I'm going to clean that up. I'm just going to take a paper towel, wipe it out. If you have any gobbledygook in your Mod Podge, you want to get rid of it. That will all transfer to your item. You've done all that work. You don't want that to happen. Take a little bit of my water. Mod Podge is water soluble, so you don't have to worry about that. But you do want to keep that in mind if you ever try to seal something that needs to have contact with water. Mod Podge should not be your choice. Okay. But I'm just using my rag right now and a little bit of water because I'm too lazy to go to the sink right now. It's not necessary. I'm just going to be able to get this all out. Okay. Yeah. So it's clean, good to go. Let me clean my hands off a little bit. All right, more Mod Podge to the rescue. Woo! Is that Genie? All right, let's just go in like we did before. So I'll see how this holds up with 2 coats on both sides. Depending on what you like, you might need a couple more. It just depends on what your preference is. The dog that I did, I only needed 2 coats per side. However, you might need more because it's a larger puzzle, but we'll see. What I like about gluing a puzzle is you don't have to babysit it. You know, you put a coat on, walk away, go do your thing, come back in a day, 2 weeks, whatever you want to do. You don't have to watch it. It doesn't require flipping or anything like that as it's drying. No other steps, just apply and walk away. Same rules apply on here. You're going to want to feather out any harsh lines, any ridges. Again, feel free to go in the opposite the direction you are going just to get in those puzzle pieces, but always come back to the same that you initially started with. Feather out. once you've done a puzzle, or maybe two, you feel a lot more comfortable in knowing what you need to apply, how much Mod Podge in order to be able to work it quickly at your pace. You know, everybody's different. You might see someone apply it quickly and be able to move quickly, and you think, well, I can't do that, and that's okay. It's not a competition. Just do what you can do, and do what you can do at your speed well. You know, I don't believe in comparing myself to someone else. I'm not them. I'm only Jeannie. I will only ever be Jeannie. So the only person that I have to compete with is myself. And all I'm ever trying to do is better me. I'm not in charge of anybody else. So I have a little clump there that wants to be yucky. I'm just going to take that right to my little trash bag, because I definitely don't want that on my puzzle. Look, right there. But you saw how easy this was to clean up. That's what I'm saying. You can have a whole stack of these and keep them and reuse them. You don't have to throw stuff away. You can reuse them for mixing paints. So many good uses. They're not great for diamond painting. I mean, but we all started out with them, right? So I mean, they do serve a purpose. They're good little teachers. But most of us do move on from them. Not all of us, and that's okay too. If you like it, use it. But for those of us who have found that other trays work better for us, it's just awesome to be able to use this for something else. Or donate it. Yeah, you donate it to a school. School, nursing home, aftercare program. Check your hospitals for long-term care areas like rehab sections at the hospital, as well as children's wards. Sometimes they will take donations. Sometimes they will not, just because of bacteria awareness. Or sometimes they have very specific rules about what they will take. So be aware of that. You'll have to contact them before you go hauling a bag up there and expecting them to take it. Thankfully, a lot of them now have their information online, although not all. Some places are still living in 1992. But just reach out before you waste a trip. Love, 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 love this puzzle so much. Little zhuzh, because I know that I've gotten some underneath it. All right, I'm going to let that set. So there's another 13 minutes down. So it takes me on average about 13 minutes to apply Mod Podge to a side. Okay. The first coat on the back is now dry. See, do you hear that? It's got a little bit of stick still, but it's all right. So I can pick it up with one coat on the back and two on the front. That might be good for some of you. I'm going to go ahead and do one more coat on the back just because that's what I like to do. But I do want to draw your attention. So this is matte, right? This is a matte finish Mod Podge, but it still has sheen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need the gloss because this has plenty of gloss, even though it is a matte finish. So, no worries at all. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do one more coat on the back. And then for me, mine will be done. Might be different for you. You might say, no, I need some more. I don't feel confident. And that's okay. Like I said, once you start working on these, you will decide what you like. Or maybe you will hang it on the wall and it will not hang as nicely as you like. And you think, oh, maybe I need another coat. But and maybe I'm doing too much, you know, maybe it's perfectly fine. But for my peace of mind, I do 2 coats on each side. So that's what I'm doing. Just a little bit extra. I think that's pretty funny how the front is just so shiny. Because those pieces already have like a shine to them. So it's just making them stand out. And there are occasions that I use the shiny, but it's really rare. Like right now, I don't even have any gloss Mod Podge. I only have matte right now. Why am I using so little? Don't be shy, dear. So, but that's up to you what you like. I know people who only use gloss for everything, so whatever floats your boat. If you have a favorite concoction you like to use, please tell me. I know some of you even make your own. But my biggest tip to you is to just make sure that that you are allowing your coats to dry before adding another one. Otherwise, you will start to even peel up the previous coat. And it's messy. So let it dry, walk away, do something else, come back. All right. Well, that coat went on quicker than my usual 13. The first coat I did felt really nice on here. All right. Now I feel much more confident. No. You hear that? That's why I'm saying if you have that stuck to a book or something, that's why I really recommend parchment paper or these great sheets. All right. I'll come back with final thoughts. Okay, y'all. We have both sides complete. Both sides are dry. As you can see, that has still a bit of a sheen for that matte finish, but it turned out great. No ridges. Looks good. I feel very confident in it being able to hold up. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. I think it turned out absolutely amazing. And I had a great time doing it with Jen. I love this kit. I loved that this puzzle came together like it did. But it looks amazing. It's funny, you can really see the monkey and the balloon and the different shapes, but in person it's a little bit more muted. It's not as bright. So, but yeah, that to me looks great, and I feel that that's very sturdy. It will still need to, it's still curing in between the puzzle pieces, so don't go crazy. I like to give my puzzles after they have been coated. I still like to give them a couple of days to really cure before I go worrying about displaying them or trying to hang them up. So lots of options you have. This could be great to be a leaner in a bookcase, or if you wanted to, you could staple. You'd have to use some, test your staples, put them up here and make sure that they're not going to come through the front, but you could staple a ribbon and use that as your hanger. if you wanted to do that too. Or you can use the 3M hook and loop hanging, which is probably what I'm going to do. So lots of options there to do. I'm just so pleased that it's completed and I absolutely love it. Well, I hope that helped you. If it did, let me know. I always love to hear your comments. If you have a recipe, again, that you like, share it. Let us know what you do. And if you've worked on this puzzle, I want to hear about it. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. And I do hope that you continue to keep love and kindness on repeat. And until I see you, bye-bye.